Alright, we're doing the last one for Cyseal, and that is the final boss, Braccus Rex, which would probably be, I'd say, top 3, top 4 most difficult fights in the entire game. Definitely top 5. Definitely top 5, especially since it's one of those ones where people can set up the battle way wrong. I think Radagoth is right up there with some of the most difficult fights in the game. If you're doing an honor mode run, you know, you might want to consider just skipping Radagoth, coming back later, because he's really difficult. He's really difficult. I'd say that this one is probably my number 1 most difficult fight, Radagoth. But, you know, Braccus Rex is also not difficult. So anyway, let's see what I got here. Okay, so this first video. Oh, okay, so I'm going over this stuff. So this is my old crew. This is the crew from over a year ago before I even wrote my guide. Just to let you know that, you know, this did not... I kept these videos just to show you that you do not have to be using my guide to survive these fights, okay? This is an old crew with... Look, I don't even have constitution rings. I don't have crafted weapons. For the most part, really crappy gear. Really crappy gear. Barely hit level 10. Barely hit level 10. You can see that the builds are roughly around the same. This guy, as you can see with my old build, this is my pure dual-wielding wizard. So, pure strength, intellect, there is no dex, pure dual damage, which is slightly different, but you can still do this. Hey, I crafted daggers. And look, I was too dumb to craft daggers with +1 speed. I did +1 dex. Did I do it for both daggers? Did I do it for both daggers or just one? No, okay, so I got plus speed on one dagger. I was confused, or I just didn't care. You want plus speed on both daggers, not just one. Alright, so you got the idea. Pretty crappy gear. You know, here are my stats. Now let's see how well I did here. So let's see what do I got here. Okay, so this is how I would set up the fight most times.
Die, vermin!
I hate rats. That was pretty sweet. Okay, so I don't know if I do it in this one, but a very good tactic is to run over here. Okay, this is where the slime ghoul lord appears. Grab one of these candles, any one of these candles, and just chuck it out here in the open. Great tactic. I don't know if I do it here. I haven't seen this video preemptively.
What idea?
I'm just putting oil here and probably flaming it. Yeah. You can do this. Not as effective. Just throw a candle. I mean, just as effective. But, you know, if you want to be lazy, just throw a candle. Then what you're going to do is you're going to go over here, you're going to take a shot at Braccus Rex. Why? Because he sucks, and we hate him. And then we're going to start this fight. And I get stuck on the other side of the door, and then shut the door! And then panic, and then sneak. Okay. Alright. Fail. Okay. So this shows you that you don't have to be perfect. Old video. You want to shoot this, and then what you want to do? You want to run out the door. You don't want to shut the door and panic and have to sneak over here, okay? So this is what, but it doesn't matter. And the reason why it doesn't matter is because you have to start the fight. But look at how much damage this ghoul in the lighthouse has already taken. Why? Because it spawns in a cesspool of poison over here, but you've just set it on fire preemptively. So when the poison spawns, it explodes, does a massive amount of damage, and then he, you know, does this little scuttle thing, boop, 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 across it, and burns himself to here. So look how much damage he's already taken before the fight's even started. So you're going to have to start the fight. It doesn't matter if you hit him or not. Okay. He's gonna. This is a new EE enhanced edition thing. He's going to get these little invisible crystals. Don't even worry about them. Whatever. Just run her back on the inside of the door. There you go. You can join the fight. Yada, yada, yada. Then just wait. Wait. Now, this is the tactic, okay? And then people say, what about bodybuilding? What about willpower? What about constitution? You don't need it. You don't need it. Because what people will do is they'll march right in here. They'll talk to Braccus Rex. And they'll drop a meteor storm on your head. They'll drop a meteor storm on your head right away, okay? Yes, okay, that happened to me once in the original version of the game. So, you know, you're talking years ago. And you know what I figured out? Wow, that's a really shoddy tactic. Because he just takes a dump on your head at the very beginning of the game. So you know what you do? You adapt, you change. So this is what you do, okay? You hide behind the door. You let them come to you. Now, what the AI does is Braccus will sit back here and hide. Why? Because Braccus Rex is programmed to dump a meteor storm on your head. But the problem is, you're out of his range. You're out of his range, so he can't do it. So he just sits here and goes, please come to me so I can drop this on your head. And just don't. So just ignore him. Leave him in the back. All of his minions aren't programmed the same way. His minions are programmed to just move from point A to point B. Just wait. Move from point A to point B, which, you know, they're at point A, and wherever you are is point B, so they'll come after you. So what do you do? Now, you know, 4 people, they're marching through this choke point. Whack them. There we go. Oh, see, I know I wanted Baron of Bones to get on fire there. Now the twins will just run through the fire. They won't take any damage from it, but we don't really care. But now I can use Firefly or something else to make sure that the Baron gets on fire.
If you play with fire, you get burned.
He is a serpent.
Kind of trying to figure out, and I can't figure it out now. How did she just get poisoned? Where the heck did that just come from?
Play with fire, you get burned.
I don't know where that poison came from, and why wasn't she? Why is she not poisoned? She is.
He is a serpent.
What the heck just happened here? I haven't moved her. Anyway, another one of the weird kind of glitches in the game. So we're gonna try to get Baron of Bones, you know, in one way, shape, or form. I'm gonna have it done some way here. We're gonna try to get him on fire. Ah, I delayed turn for some reason there. That's interesting. Oh, there he goes. He's running in there on fire. That's what we want. Ghoul's dead. Now, you know, healing spells, healing spells, healing spells. Also, you should have 5-star diner on her, which means that food can get her from no health to full health, you know, in half a turn. So Baron of Bones is now on fire and now on his rear. Can't reach. Not going to be able to do anything. But we can move the raid spell far enough back that, you know, people in this area will now no longer be on flames. That's useful. Now we're just going to wait. Why? You've built up a massive amount of AP. And he's had to use a lot of his AP to move. Which will be important when Braccus Rex actually shows up. Same kind of thing. Ice works well on fire. Massive damage.
Bad news travels fast.
I am playing it really safe here. I don't want to waste my AP. I want to make sure I'm
Take no
healed.
prisoners!
She has a lot of AP there. A lot of AP saved up. So she could have attacked a couple more times. Yeah, he's still not going to move anywhere. Maybe I can teleport, maybe. Just bury it in. So now I'm finding the crystals. So I can see 2 of them. There's the 3rd right there. Because what's going to happen is after I end Baron of Bones. So that's what I'm going to do. After I kill Baron of Bones, what happens next is the AI on Braccus Rex changes. Why? Because he no longer has anybody else on his team. Everyone's dead. So he can no longer sit there and wait to throw down his meteor shower. He can't. So what does he do? He just runs forward. Just runs at you.
My kingdom for a dry
The
shirt.
sound of being crippled. And, you know, this is a hard fight. Play it safe. As I said, this is my honor mode. That's why I panicked on the other side of the door. I didn't know if I was going to start the fight. I shut it, and you start doing stupid stuff on honor mode as you're terrified that you can die at any moment. So I'm playing it safe. You know, I'm waiting for myself to be healed, have a lot of AP before I finish off the Baron of Bones here. I feel okay. I feel confident. Let's take him down. Let's just wait a turn. Okay. Now here's the other thing I'm gonna do. I'm gonna do walk in shadows here, which I do frequently. Why? Because this is the guy I know I'm going to sneak past Braccus Rex to throw my grenades or do what I'm gonna do. Take these things out. When Braccus Rex comes in here, he's gonna most likely sit in the opening or sit here. Now the problem with that is if you're not in walk in shadows, he'll just get an attack of opportunity when you pass him. And, that no bueno. And he should have helping hand, she should have helping hand, and he should have helping hand. It's really useful for helping people up, putting them out of flame. So yeah, he sits there in the open, takes a good shot at her. But can you hurt him right now? No. No, you cannot. But what you want is I want this guy to have as many moves as possible because I want him to take out those crystals out there. If you have some summons available, throw them out. Why? Because you could move Medora back and just let Braccus Rex kill the summons over and over again while you go out there and you deal with the crystals. So as you can see, you can get past here. Unfortunately, I realized that my guy has terrible movement, as you can see right there, right? It takes 2 AP just to get that missed, right? Well, 4 AP got me all the way out there with battering ram, so I'm going to have to wait. But Braccus Rex isn't going to come back out to get me. So what do I do with her?
Fortune favors the bold.
I rage her for some reason. That was fun. I want her to take it more effectively. Now what do I want to do? I want to set this up in a way that Medora, because Medora's a heavy hitter, on one person. She's a relatively heavy hitter, and I want her to be able to Firestorm grenades are awesome. Any sort of grenade are awesome because they can actually set the thing on fire as well, if I'm not mistaken. But they can also kill it in a single shot like that. So I don't have to move any direction, as you've just seen, and I can take down 2 crystals in a single turn. Boom, 2 crystals, right? Next turn I'll take down that crystal, so it's already set up. Now I want to set up your heavy hitters. Don't know what I'm doing there. Maybe trying to see if I can destroy summon on it. I want to set Medora up. I want to make sure she has health. I want to make sure her rage is still going. I want to make sure that she can, you know, I might have done rage on her because she might have been maxed out for AP. You have a certain max for AP based on your constitution. Ah, that was smart. Boulder Bash actually took out that crystal, so that was good. Now, he is vulnerable. At this point in time, he is vulnerable. Now, what this means is you want to get him CC'd as quickly as possible and not let him recover. The reason is because he can summon those crystals again. He can summon those crystals again. So you want to drop him as quickly as possible, which he can be knocked down now. He can be knocked down. Did not get knocked down there, but can be. That was a massive hit. That was also a decent hit. Wow, so there's an attack of opportunity. That was useful. Gee, so far, no CC. I can't get any CC to land. And next turn, he will be able to summon those crystals again. But with Medora, with Rage, Oath of Desecration, and the melee power stance, if Braccus Rex decides to move, which if I'm remembering, as weird as this is, I'm remembering I think she gets another attack of opportunity on him and kills him. Maybe not. Just delay the turn. See what Medora does. Oh, okay. I'm gonna lightning jump in here. I still can't stun the guy. So I have failed horribly at actually getting some CC to land. So I still can't get CC to land. It's just a good thing that I've dealt a lot of damage. And there she goes. So Medora, it wasn't a attack of opportunity.
That is the final end of Braccus Rex.
And there you go. So crappy team, as I've said, crappy team. This is my very first honor mode run, but crappy team. And if you look, really played safe. No one even came close to dying. People say this is one of the more difficult fights in the game. If you play this right, it just isn't. It just isn't. And here I'm going to go to my new team. So this is my new team. Here we go. Alright, so we're going to... So I decided to do it from here, so I'm going to crawl around here. I've already obviously done all this, so here I'll just zoom ahead. So I had to heal myself on my way in.
Cultist must have used some kind of key or...
Alright, oh, I don't think I did that.
Use some kind of key or spell.
But this is definitely a better group. This has got my gear on it. I had to put the medallion back on Medora. Back on Medora here, so you can talk to this loser.
Elrond believed that by unleashing these monsters, he'd learn the secret to resurrect...
Love so complete can...
Aye.
And there's forgiving, which you want to get. This game was absolutely not an honor mode. So I could have taken my time. I didn't need to, though. I didn't need to. As you can tell, this is a one fluid load. Because this is not a hard battle for me. So what I do here... I go over here. I'm like, you know what? Grab this candle. Whoop. 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 And there you go. So same concept as before. I just use a candle now. It's just easier. Just easier. Same thing. Same thing. You want to hit this guy, but I'm not using a crossbow, so I have to make sure he's stopped moving. Like so. Run back. Ah! You actually got to see it there. Most of his life is gone. So, we're back to square one. There goes crystals. She is actually within range. She takes a shot there. Oh,
Poison consumes me!
I'm just gonna use the crystal. It's easy. Or the pyramid. It's easy. I can get back to safety. I can self-haste, and I can just wait, just like before. The difference is my team is much more powerful in this game than the other one. So let's see if I do worse. I play cocky or something. Ooh, close. Now this is, like I said, one of my tactics. Lay down a bunch of oil because they don't avoid the oil. They will avoid fire. So this will work in Cyseal all the time. You'll see, you know, the Morticianer's hut, if you remember that. And there's all those skeletons there. And you can throw down a bunch of oil like this. All the skeletons, man, they'll just come marching in like lambs to the slaughter. And they'll hit the oil, and it'll cut their movement, so they won't be able to move far. So it doesn't matter how far back they are, how close they are to the oil. They'll all end up at about the same spot, right in the middle. And then you just light the blaze once they're all there. It's a great little tactic. So, he's been oiled, and then watch. See? Stops. Why? Because his movement gets cut by so much that he just stops right here. Now, I don't need to set this ablaze yet. And the reason I don't need to set this ablaze is because Baron of Bones is not on the oil yet. I don't necessarily want to set that on fire. But I can stun him. Oh! Whoa. I'm sorry. I just killed you. In a single shot. 222 damage. Now, let's see that. Now, let me show you. This is what I talk about. I talk about you do the guide, and this is the amount of damage that you can inflict. This is a non-missable arrow. 222. Boom. Exploded. What was he at? So I had actually lowered his armor with a silver arrow. So he did have lower armor. So let's see here. So this special arrow, it has a chance to do 162 to 287. So this is just normal, not a critical. It's just normal damage. 222. You're talking about that being 80. So it's pretty close to the middle. You know, 10 on the high side if it split it in half, right? Yeah, it's pretty right down the middle. And look at how much damage it does to him. Kills him. I mean, and this is, what, 33% of his life. Splat. Trying to get the Baron. Can't get him. And I don't want to set this on fire necessarily. Unless I can clip the Baron. Which I thought I could there and failed. Now I have to set him up on fire somehow. Because he'll just wait now. He'll just wait. They won't run through fire unless they're on fire. They won't run through fire. But if you set them on fire, they'll run the whole way. So what I'm looking at now is I know that I need this much AP to cast Boulder Bash, so I can move 3 AP. That's what I've just done with the math. So now I'm putting this out. I know 3 AP is the movement. See, so I move as far as I can with 3 AP, and it's clearly far enough to drop the Boulder Bash on. Boulder Bash hits. He's now on fire. Perfect. Let's just delay these because that's how we play. We just wait for them to come to us. And he was kind enough. To actually move to the edge of the fire force. That way we don't have to set ourselves ablaze when we go to get him. See how much Medora can do with a whack here. With her crafted sword. Well, 160. Now you see that? She did 160. Now this is my problem with the two-handed sword. The 160 damage, okay, which isn't bad, but it's 160 damage with no CC on a single target. My ranger with a special arrow, which you're going to have so many special arrows are going to be crawling out of your every orifice, just did 222 damage, and likewise would do about 222, the same with an ice arrow, so more, with the same amount of AP, 4 attack, but will also have a chance to CC. The only chance that this two-handed fighter has of ever keeping up with even just pure damage is if it ever crits, which is the percentage. So if the percent chance to crit is 10, 20%, 30%, you're saying that this person has a 10, 20, 30% chance of ever being at level with your ranger. And that's just not good enough for me. Two-handed in this game, in EE, are not... Now, did you see that? Did you see that? 702 damage. Now, did you see that? Let me replay this. This is the crap I'm talking about. People that want to talk about how awesome two-handed fighters are. I can't get to it. So, 702 damage. 702 with 4 AP. Obliterated the damage that Medora could do with a two-handed crafted sword that has tenebrium on it, as you can see. Obliterated it. Obliterated. This is why the Ranger is the most overpowered class in the game. That was 4 AP. So, Baron is just waiting. I'm getting lazy.
All the way to my
I'm just going to let the fire go away, hoping that he just comes in faster, which he does, but still doesn't make it. Now, I realized, I can hit him. Let's throw a couple special arrows at him again. Now, I can't see how much that one did, but we can see how much it did overall to his health. So, you know, we can see how much it did to his health overall. So he's at about, 66% strength. She throws 1 silver arrow at him, which is not designed to do damage. It's designed to make him take more damage, and he moves a slight bit. So maybe 100, maybe 150 damage. I can't really see. Now let's see what a lightning arrow can do. Stun failed. Now did you see the amount of damage that did? That took, possibly 25% of his health. 1 little special arrow. And here's the other, the brutal part of the Ranger here. Medora would also have to use massive amounts of AP or skills to move from this point to this point. To even be able to do that. The Ranger can hit these people without ever moving. So once again, we are doing a walk in shadows. Why? Because we think Baron of Bones is going to be dropping soon. Which, yes, will be. That's why teleport's important. You teleport, and all of a sudden Medora can attack. Doesn't have to waste AP moving. There you go. Now that's it. There we go. There we go. So here is a perfect example. Okay, so here is a perfect example of a crit from Medora. Best case scenario. So best case scenario, your Medora is going to be dealing 450, 50 damage. 59. Okay? That's best case scenario. No CC. From right in front. Your Ranger can deal that damage, much more damage than that, from far away, and deal massive CC. Is Medora bad? No. Is Medora a ranger, or is a two-handed fighter a ranger? No. Absolutely not. You take a hell of a beating, though, as you saw that she took a hit and it barely moved.
Damn, it flies to this queen.
So once again, same problem. 7 AP to move that way. 7 AP. So we're just gonna use 4 AP and get to there. It might set me on fire, but whatever.
You don't have a leg to
Nope,
stand
didn't set me on fire. These ones are really far out here. Really far out here. So same thing. Same thing. We're gonna
Nothing short of insane.
we're gonna flame these. Summon spiders.
There is no escaping the spider's kiss.
They'll take damage. I'll just, you know, use my AP to do dinner. Because I don't know if you saw that, I had about 1.5 million dinners. 1.5 million dinners. I mean, every piece of meat that you pick up, you can turn into dinner. Fish, which costs nothing, you can turn into a dinner. With pinpoint and
The secret ingredient? Fahrenheit!
that did worse. So, with slingshot and pinpoint, you can throw these from a very far distance, as you've seen. You know, no point really doing anything. Save AP. Once again, I can just. So I'm just moving her out of the way here, hoping that Braccus will attack the spiders instead. And he does. So he'll just beat these spiders. Which doesn't cost you anything. There's no risk associated with even in honor mode. It just beats on spiders. I don't think I'm gonna be able to throw that far enough. I'm not. I can at least take this one out.
Fire starter!
That one's out, so I'm gonna have to wait one more turn. So once again, we're just gonna waste turns, waste AP. I'm gonna waste another 42 dinners. So you got so many of those dinners. Those dinners are restoring 30% life. So he does decide to turn around and whack her there, but that's because the spider has finally died. All right. And I am not sure that this will even work. No, that's awesome. So they separated these crystals by a large margin, which is making chasing them all down slightly more difficult. But once again, there is no risk. Why? Because Braccus Rex does not have enough AP to cast Meteor Shower at this distance, and he's using his AP to do stuff like this, like bash Medora in the face. Which, as you can see, how much risk is there? None, because Medora is just a giant HP sponge. That's how she's built in the guide. Oh, there we go. So finally down. And now we have all these people with massive amounts of AP. Massive amounts of AP that have all the time in the world to just destroy Braccus Rex. So, well, I haven't stunned him, but I mean, if you're looking at the damage being dealt, there isn't a good chance that this guy is going to survive stuff, regardless of if I stun him. I mean, you can see the damage this guy takes once the crystals go down. It's pretty intense. So we're gonna probably, you know, rush this guy in, try to get a stun, get it to work, set myself on fire. That's always good. Hey, we got a stun to work. Now this is game over. Hey, this is game over because now I can do this. And Medora can one hit him because he can't move. He can't miss. There's 0 chance to miss. Pretty big hit. 300 damage, though. 300 damage. Once again, you see that hit? Did you see that hit? Now, that hit wasn't even very high either. That was a damage of 260 when it hit, you know? 260. If you remember at the beginning, when my ranger hit... Wow, I threw back way too far. Apologies.
Wait!
Right here. So she did 200. So she did 200 damage with a chance to CC. With a chance to CC. Medora did, what'd I say, 250? Medora did 250? 260. So you're talking about a damage difference of 60 when she has 0 chance of CC. This one has chance of CC, and she isn't even moving. It's just, the Ranger is so powerful. So powerful. But anyway.
Final end, Braccus Rex. May his soul
Here's your Braccus Rex fight. Now, as you can see by this one, with my powerful party, this was a joke. Braccus Rex was a joke. He did not even scratch me. I mean, he's on fire and took damage only at the very end of the see, only at the very, very end when he did his lightning jump and set himself on fire. And Medora was in no real danger. Just kept eating her dinner, and she was good to go. Another thing to mention. So here's your chest. Magical unlock scroll unlocks these. I've been asked that before. Just unlock this. You can get that magical unlock scroll from Arhu's office in Cyseal, which is above the Legion Commander's office. And you come over here, open this with this chest, and you get yourself a Starstone. Awesome. So, hopefully this was useful. Hopefully, after this advice and this watching this, I'm still wearing panties. You will be able to beat this much easier, and you won't be complaining about how hard Braccus Rex is. You'll be laughing at how easily you slaughter him.